Hello friends, it's Terry with Terry's Mailbox, and today I'm going to show you how to stretch your holiday dies. So again, this is the card that we're going to go ahead and make today. It's a shaker card, and again, I posted one earlier with a different sentiment, so you'll see that in a little bit. So here's that Honeybee Slimline Mistletoe Die, and I'm going to cut it out of Fairway Star Dream Metallic cardstock. Here's the card that I posted earlier and decided to go back and show you how I put it together. So again, I went ahead and die cut the Fairway cardstock, and I'll go ahead and punch out all of these little pieces here so that I can get just the frame and the leaves and the spaces where I'm gonna turn it into blueberries. So again, I grabbed one of my dark blue Copic markers, and we're going to go ahead and color the blueberries. So again, there's blueberries all over this. Actually, they're mistletoe, but we're making them blueberries today. So again, I've got spots where there's one blueberry, two blueberries, three blueberries. But again, I'm going to go ahead and color them all. So while I'm coloring, you should see a red arrow in the lower right-hand section of your screen, and I would ask that you click on that and subscribe to my channel. I post lots of floral cards, vintage cards, grungy cards. You know, again, I kind of do the gamut. I consider myself a chameleon crafter, so whatever product I've got, you know, I can work with it. So again, I'm continuing to color these in. I've made a commitment this year to really look at the supplies that I have on hand and really try to get the best use out of them. If there's a way I can change how I'm using them, I'm gonna do it. So this is a sparkly blue gel that I'm gonna go ahead and put all over all of those blueberries. And like I say, it's got a little bit of a sparkle and a little bit of tint of blue, so it just kind of gives the blueberries more dimension. Kind of fun. So I challenge you to look at some of your dies and, you know, stamps that you have and try to see how you can use them in a different way. So this is just one. I think I saw somebody else had posted changing mistletoe to blueberry online, and I thought, ooh, what a great idea. So again, I'm all done adding my glaze, so I've set it aside and it's dried. So now I'm going to work with my piece of acetate to keep the shakers in. So again, I'm gonna dot my glue all over the place here. I use this larger glue bottle with a needlepoint applicator. So again, we'll go ahead and just get it all on there. And then what I'm going to do is glue the acetate onto the back side of that, and then I've got to give it a little drying time before I mess with it. So you won't see the drying time. So again, I'm just kind of dotting it here. Finishing up, gonna put the line around the outside, and I want that to be a fairly solid line, just because I think that helps hold it. So we'll go ahead and just add that line, and then I'm gonna flip that acetate, or actually, you know, line it up at the bottom there, and then I'm just gonna lay it down and smooth it out. And then I'm going to set it aside to dry. I often will use a paper towel on top to try to get the excess glue out. So again, it's hard to see the acetate on there, but it is like a 1/4 inch over on each side. I think maybe here on the white you can catch it a little bit better. But again, I'm just pressing it down to make sure I get good adherence. And then I'm going to go ahead, after it's dry, I'm going to go ahead and trim that off. And I'm just using a very large scissors. And I'm going to use these little tiny foam strips from scrapbook.com to actually add on there. So again, they're oh gosh, they're probably 1/8 of an inch thick. But they're pretty handy for flowers and, you know, the stems and things and small leaves, but they're also handy for this. So what I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and pull the backing paper off so that I have more flexibility. So both backings are off, and it allows me to kind of stretch it just slightly so it gets it just a little bit skinnier. And so once that's all the way around, I'm going to get into my stash of sequins. Anybody else collect sequins like this? This is just bad. This is bad. I've collected sequins for years. So again, I'm going to be pretty generous here. We're going to do 3 little, fingerfuls or handsfuls, not handfuls, but pinches of sequins on there. And then I've got a piece of white cardstock. Again, it's 5.5 by 8.5. And we're just going to lay it on there and then press all around the edges, and basically that part is done except for the trimming. So you can see, look at all those cool sequins in there. I'm glad I put extra ones in there. So now I'm just going to trim the white cardstock on the edges of the shaker portion, and I'm just using a large scissors to do this. I keep my Fiskars large old sewing scissors there, use them to cut my paper. So again, I'll just kind of press around the outside, the edges, make sure that it is completely done. So I'm going to take my cardstock, a regular piece, cut a 1/2 inch off, and then trim it to 9.25 inches. And then here I am just kind of scoring it at 4 inches. And so again, that piece, it makes my card 4 by 9.25. And so there's the sentiment that I'm planning on putting on this one. So I'm using my large glue applicator. I use these all the time. I just think it's easy to use, and you can buy bulk refills. So again, I'm just going to kind of line it up. I put it a little bit closer to the top than the bottom. And then I'm going to add that sentiment on there. So that is a Pink Fresh Studios sentiment that, again, I have heat embossed, and I keep a bin of them. And so I'm going to go ahead and use that second one because it was a little bit messy. So this is where I'm going to put the sentiment here in the middle. So I'm just about finished with the card again, and remember, it's Terry with Terry's Mailbox, and I'd love to have you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook. I do a blog as well, so I'd love to have you come follow me. So here's the finished card again. Have a great day. Thank you for coming.